Hey guys, it's Rocket Blade here. Once again, what's up, everybody? It's like around, wow, like 7 o'clock in the morning, me doing this, but I really want to get this video out the way, get this video up my chest. Because Movie Bob did a response to all the Star Wars backlash, and you can say it's a response to him, plus a response to the criticism and stuff. Now, I'm disagreeing with Movie Bob. Let me make one thing perfectly clear. I like Movie Bob a lot. I like his criticisms on movies. I like how he articulates things. I mean, the way he speaks, the way he just expresses the art of film in his reviews is so beautiful and mesmerizing. Seriously, if he wasn't like a critic, I see him as a great like English teacher, just a great teacher in general, because he knows how to like really talk and express himself using big articulate words. It's just like, wow, man, your vocabulary. I'm just blown away like with the stuff he knows. And he's a good critic, I'm saying. I like his stuff. I love the Game Over Think, which I hope that comes back, that's what got me into his channel. And he does regular reviews on geek.com, and because you're wondering, you go to his channel, you're like, well, where's his reviews? It's at geek.com, which he mentions every time the video ends, so it's just a reminder to people. So, yeah, so it seems like, there's a subculture on the internet, which, in general, how, like, there's it seems like in terms of the internet, like there's no such thing as a middle ground. There's either a left or a right opinion. Meaning, like, either love it or you hate it. There's no middle ground. You know what I'm saying? Either you love it or you hate it. There's like no middle ground here. It's the internet makes it like it does it because you love it or you hate it, or that's it. Pick a side. I'm like, excuse me. So, like, here's the thing. He responds to all the criticisms, like, look, that are leveled against it. Look, let me say this. Are there stupid criticisms on Star Wars: The Last Jedi? Absolutely. The whole petition thing to make it non-canon is, first of all, really fucking stupid. Just beyond stupid. Like, look, Last Jedi has its problems, but it's still a good, coherent film. Second of all, where the hell was this during Attack of the Clones? That would be a good time to start position, because that was like a downright boring and terrible Star Wars movie. Where was that for that? At least with Phantom Menace, there was like at least 4 good moments. Like the shootout with the shootout in the third act with I think Princess Amidala, I could be pronouncing her name wrong, was really good. When Anakin accidentally took a rebel ship and fighting in space, that was pretty cool too. But of course, the main two scenes that stick out is the pod racing and the final duel between Darth Maul versus Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. That was like, wow. We were from just Ray Park flipping around, just doing incredible acrobatic stuff, showing what Jedi and Sith can do in an incredible, well choreographed fight. I mean, this is just wow. It's something that's to me amazing. Attack of Clones only had like really 2 moments. Obi-Wan versus Jango Fett in the rain, which is pretty cool, and the fight between Anakin and Obi-Wan versus Count Dooku with Yoda as well. But that's it. Only 2 in comparison to the 4 that Phantom Menace had over it. So there's that. I think the petition is stupid. And dumb little criticism like, well, see, in Return of the Jedi, he got like a scuff mark during the fight, so that like the scuff mark was not there in Luke's current lightsaber, so it ruins the continuity. That dumb shit. Like, dumb little criticism like that. Okay, dude, like, get a fucking life. Like, if that's the shit he's criticizing, go right the fuck ahead, Movie Bob, because those are stupid and deserve to be ripped apart. Oh, another thing he mentioned, I'm like, what? Where like people like saying like, oh, the girl wearing the purple hair was like with SJW or some like propaganda, or not necessarily SJW, but just propaganda bullshit. And my thing is like, I'm like, oh, her hair's like purplish purple. This was one of the general girls that took over there. Obviously, as I think you really should know, based on the title of this video, it says Star Wars: The Last Straw. I'm going into major spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie, click away now. But if you have, which a lot of people have seen at this point, but if you haven't, I understand. Click away, come back and see the movie. I should have said that from the beginning, but I'll probably write that in the description too, to spoiler warning. I'll put in the title too, The Last Straw with plus spoilers, so. So, like, but anyway, how the purple general girl that took over for Leia, like that was like some kind of propaganda bullshit. And she looked weird. I'm like, she looked beautiful in my opinion, and she sticks. And and the way how her hair complemented her dress, she stuck out in a good way. Kind of like how how in Belle and Beauty and the Beast, when Doug was doing like the Disney like December thing he does, where like what's the great thing about, because he was like reviewing it with Rob, or like they're comparing the live action one, and he's like, what's the good thing about the cartoon that make Belle stick out? She's like the only one. She's like the only one in that movie, in the cartoon anyone, that wears blue. And when you look back, because I've seen Beauty and the Beast, when we got re-released in theaters, I'm not a. It was for little cousins, just in case you're asking. And that's true. Looking back, oh my god, you're right. She was the only one that wore blue. Everyone was wearing different colors, but she was like the only one that wore blue. So she stuck out. I think it was the same thing here. So if people said she looked weird, I think she looked great. She looks normal compared to the other aliens and stuff you see in Star Wars. So that's not a big deal. And apparently, Rose was just there just for appease to the Chinese market. Even though, according to Movie Bob, which I should have did research, but I believe him that he wouldn't lie about something like that. She's not even Chinese, which is stupid. Rose is a great character regardless. She's so great. I even got a Funko Pop of her. That's all I was impressed with this character. I'm like, and I'm getting a Funko Pop of you. If I see you, and I did it at Walmart, bought it. Because she impressed me a lot. So yeah, but let's get to the flaws that I think, not just Movie Bob, but just other people in general on the internet are like, dude, just shut up and enjoy the movie. I am. I am enjoying the movie. I thought the movie was good. In fact, I think before the year's end, I'm going to see it again because my mom was sick and she couldn't see it. So I'm going to pay her way to see it, just, she could enjoy it with me. But there are problems. Like, the one thing Movie Bob mentioned, the whole Force thing where, where like Leia shit gets blown up and then she Force pulls herself in. Look. Looking back, and he does make a good point. That was her last big moment because after this, she's died and she won't. I mean, they'll put, I guess, in a way, I guess, with technology to put her in not in the last movie, but she's, dead, and I guess that's her last big screen moment. I did say it was silly, but I didn't say it was bad. It was silly because we knew she was Force sensitive, but even if that happened, would have made up for it if she had just been like, oh, Luke trained me in the ways of the Force a little bit. There was at least mention that. Okay, cool. I would have forgiven it right away. It's still a little silly to me, but it was one thing. It was silly and cool at the same time. It was still that, she just suddenly has the Force. But at the same time, it was cool. I was like, wow. I was like, wow. I was like, okay, this is a little silly, but it was one of those things that was silly, but cool at the same time. It wasn't like, oh, this is stupid. Like, I mean, Khalees was like, well, because one of those things like, well, she is Force. She could tell from Return of the Jedi, she was kind of Force sensitive, so it's not like so far-fetched. Now, that happened, like, for example, with Han, and he did that shit, then okay, we have an argument, like, whoa, okay, what the hell's going on here? But it's a little bit of criticism. It's a little bit of a criticism in terms of, like, I wish she just said, like, oh, Luke trained her, and that's why she was able to do something like that. At least do that. But, what I'm saying? But it's not far-fetched, but I just wish it was explained. But again, one thing I disagree with the whole Snoke thing, like, it's great that it built up to nothing. Then why would you build up a character that seems to be this ultimate badass that Rey has to defeat, only for him to get snuffed out the way he did? Especially considering the fact that Angry Joe brought up a good point. How does he not notice a lightsaber slightly turning and coming on? Seriously, how is he, considering he has this great presence and awareness into the dark side of the Force, yet he doesn't know the lightsaber slightly turning? And he was built up for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's like, oh, people are upset, like, oh, he's, the Emperor, he somehow survived from Return of the Jedi, or he's this or that character from the Star Wars continuity. I don't think that's really the case. And I'm pretty sure that people that complain like he's not like a character from a comic. But still, he was wasted, though. Let's not deny the fact that and with Plasma, Captain Plasma, they were wasted. Totally wasted characters. You know what I'm saying? Well, at least Plasma did more, but still. I wish they gave her more to do. And Snoke was built up for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So that people have legitimate complaints for that. Also, I felt like even though Luke was holding off Han, the whole like. I mean, I know they're trying like the whole. Let me go here because Rose was like doing like that whole casino thing was doing the whole like. How showing the political side of ways, like how it's not just the the empire that's fighting these rich assholes who are benefiting, probably war puppet, people that sells weapons to them and they're benefiting of it. They're living it up in this big casino area, which a lot of people it bothered them. It didn't bother me because at least they had a purpose to be there, plot wise. And she did. It got a little bit political. I wish they would like express it more, but it got political in terms of like how it's not just like I mentioned before. It's not just the empire that's fighting, but there's people that sell their weapons and they're profiting money wise and like being all rich and then there's people that are poor and So it shows that side of kind of things. It does hit close to home from that aspect. So I understand why movie balls liked it, and I liked it too. But I also would have expressed on it more. But other Joe, which is Angry Joe's brother, brought up a good point, and with that being that. Had the general lady be up front with Poe, because Poe thinks that she was a spy and, she was, something's up and she's not telling him everything. He finds it suspicious. So, had she been up front with him from the jump street of what plan she was doing, then Poe would have to send Finn and Rose on that side adventure, thus making it pointless. So... that is a good point. It was kind of pointless once that is brought up to the conversation. You know what I mean? And also the fact that, I felt, I mean, this is how people feel, and I don't know if I agree or not, because I haven't read the Expanded Universe comics. I meant more of like the what if stuff, like what if Luke died and Leia confronted Vader in the third act. It's a little stuff like what if comics of Star Wars, like what if this happened, Excuse me. But I didn't read any of the Expanded Universe and stuff like that. So anyway, but they felt like in an Expanded Universe, Luke, even though when things were getting bad, he always felt optimistic and no matter what, we're trying to better things. A lot of people felt like Luke was a coward. He wouldn't want to help Rey and they wouldn't want to help Rey and stuff and whatnot. And they want to help Rey and stuff and whatnot. And people felt like that's out of character maybe from the and I felt so too. I felt Luke. It was like caught off guard. Like, why doesn't Luke want to help her? Why is he trying to like fix things? What I'm saying, it is kind of character. And also, I feel like it sacrificed an emotional moment. We see Chewie and we're like, okay, where's Han? And it just cut away to different scenes. I want to see that reaction of like Rey telling Luke that Han's dead because of his son. He got killed by his son, Ben. And I want to see Luke's reaction to it. It ended him crying. It could be him being silent, me shedding a tear, and just saying, "I just need a moment," just so you know how he felt about that information being told to him. I'm sure it was told, but it was off screen. I felt like nowadays emotional moments are being wasted for the sake of comedy or for sake of comedy, or I don't know. Like for example, like when case in point, like with Thor Ragnarok, where when, again, spoilers again from another movie, Darja came and just, came to Thor's homeworld and just started killing all his friends. And when Thor finally got there, he didn't ask, like, where's these guys? And no one told him they're all dead. And there wasn't that time to, like, really think about, that was never expressed. You never knew what happened to them. And, like, that was a used emotional moment opportunity that was like just wasted just for the sake of comedy. And I feel like that really bothered me. And the same thing can happen here in The Last Jedi. And in my opinion, his death was wasted. I mean, I know they're trying to make way for the next generation. I understand that, but let him go out with style. You know what I'm saying? If he was like going out trying to defend them or save Rey, at least save him his death for the final movie. Fine, I understand all that. But you know what I'm saying, but I just felt Luke's death was wasted. It was. I wish they give him a better way to go out on. And also the fact that Rey's parents are just a bunch of drunkards that sold her off. I mean, even though Movie Bob liked it, I don't. Look, Movie Bob, we already know, and just for people out there, we already know that anyone could be a Force wielder. Even though people say Anakin was born the first, Anakin even though he was born the first, but Anakin wasn't from like a lineage of like Jedi Master. He was just kind of a nobody too when you really think about it. Yeah, he became a Jedi Master. But, so we know already, even though prequels was suck, but that's one good point. One person in the comic section I read about back, probably a good point that even though he was like people born from the Force, but still, point being, he wasn't like born from like a Jedi person. He was born from literally nothing. So, you know what I mean? He was born from nothing. So that kind of proved, and that little kid pulling the broom, that anyone could be a Jedi. So we know that already. I kind of wish there was more of something to raise parents, like, oh, there's a bunch of drunkards. Like, really? But again, like I mentioned before, we are, but thanks to Anakin, at least in my opinion, that was already established that we know that anyone could be a Jedi. It's not just that midichlorian bullshit. Anyone could be a Jedi. This is my opinion on that, and I just feel like these are legit complaints that people have about these movies, plot holes and complaints, and I'm saying like if it's dumb shit like the hair or certain characters was used for a demographic or certain dumb little continuities or petitions, go right ahead and rip them apart because they're stupid. But when like the stuff I mentioned here, which are legit good complaints, don't brush them off or put them in the same group like, oh, well, you're just not liking it. It's just stupid. I'm not saying I don't like it. I say it's a good Star Wars film. It's way better than Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, or Revenge of the Sith. Hell, I'll even say it's better than Rogue One, but I felt like it's not as good as the original ones or Force Awakens. And yes, it's trying to change the mold. And one thing I do agree with movie Bob is it's true. It's changing the mold, which I like. It's changing from the norm. But I feel like some things worked, but some things really didn't, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with, changing the norm. And he's like, it doesn't have to be Luke trying to save him to everything, but have him train, Rey, and have him do cool badass things, but show his age, show him slowing down, show the fact that there needs to be a new generation to take over because he can't keep doing this forever. You know what I'm saying? And I understand, I understand his movie about saying he wants to break the mold and break old traditions. I understand it, and it's true. And I wish they, and I'm all for that, but do it in a unique, creative way where people can respect. Because you do it all half-assed, which Rian Johnson kind of did. Heck, Mark Hamill didn't like. Hell, Mark Hamill is on record saying he didn't like how Luke was portrayed. That he felt he was playing a different kind of Luke, or a different character. He didn't feel like he was playing like his Luke from the original trilogy. Like he felt he was playing like a different Luke, Luke Skywalker. And that's, and I was all for. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I was all for like different directors doing each film, but I think this is me just being one director because I felt like JJ had like a story structure. Oh, sorry, guys. Again, I apologize. I just had Mountain Dew, and I guess early the gas is coming out. I apologize. But whatever. We're doing it live. JJ, he still added new things. Yeah, there's the same tropes, but he added new things. Like, for example, how, a Jedi, like non-Jedi, like Finn was using the lightsaber, while the first time ever there was both ground combat and, while it was like, ground fighting, there was also air dog fighting, and it all happened at the same time. That's never been done before in Star Wars. So little things like that was added, and added new weapons and new, stuff to Star Wars and a new lightsaber. So he did add new things. Yes, he repaid homage to the old stuff, but slowly added his own little new things as well. The ground combat, Force, non-Jedi using lightsabers, the cross saber, ground and dog fighting and ground combat all at the same time. Little things like that. And changing things up. Hey, Han using Chewie's weapons for once. Because you want to try it out, stuff like that. Little changes, little things. The armor being different and stuff, and how normally when people, when Sith wears helmets or masks because they've been disfigured, but in this case when you realize, oh, he's just normal, like there's nothing wrong with it. So there was I did a movie about there's little things. I mean, there's subtle and little, but there were things that JJ added that was both familiar but different at the same time, even though it was small. but still, it was noticeable enough. He had both, practical and CG effects to it, so it was a mixture of the both. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my opinion. At the end of the day, guys, I think Star Wars: The Last Jedi is a good film. I hope it does well. I'm looking forward to what's next. But you guys need to stop just because people have legit criticisms like not just me, mr.rapizon, Monday Matt, Angry Joe. These are guys that have legit complaints. And it is the right to feel that way. I hate that they're putting them all in the bubbles. Like, no, your complaint is stupid. It's flawed. It's dumb. Shut up and love the movie. And then, I mean, Monday Man said didn't like the movie, but I think Monday Man forgives him more. But Angry Joe and I still think the movie is good. It has its flaws and problems, and when you sit back and think about it, it has its plot holes and stuff, and things like, oh yeah, that should have been better written, or that should be done better. But still, it's still a good movie regardless. But I hate that it's just like, oh, you love or hate it. I wish there was, it's just like, and I hate how fans, like, which I understand what movie Bob's coming from, how fandom could be like ash-hole-ish, and they can be. Trust me, I know what you mean, dude. Like, both extremes are just, ugh. Like, you gotta love it, you gotta hate it. It's like, no, hate it. Well, what about the middle ground? They don't want to establish like a middle ground and stuff. It's just insane. You know what I'm saying? Again, I know I'm repeating myself. I'm not saying Star Wars: The Last Jedi is bad. It's a good movie. It really is. But it has problems. And I hate how people that, like I mentioned before, are bringing them up, but they're like sweeping like, oh, you're just being petty because it's not how you wanted it to be and stuff. And I hate how movie Bob was like making like, if Star Wars movie releasing now, all the things that people will mention. If the Star Wars movie coming out, all the problems and flaws that were mentioned that came out now. Hold on. Again, sorry guys. I think it's being silly. Like, dude, like, I understand, and yeah, there's people that are being petty, but again, I know I'm repeating myself, but there's people that have legit complaints. Instead of hating on them, why don't you have like a decent and have a honorable, discussion about it? Like, for example, my editor Koopa, or AKA John, my best friend, I like Justice League more than Wonder Woman, but he likes Wonder Woman more than Justice League. Do we hate each other because of that? No, we hear each other's thoughts and feelings, and we respect each other's opinions. Same thing. I like Star Wars. He loved Last Jedi, but he understands the problems, but he still loves it. Same thing here. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's good things about it. I love how the movie looks, how it's shot. Both practical and CG looked great. The dogfights were great. When Luke was being a badass holding off Kylo Ren, that was amazing. The little like throne room fight between Kylo and Rey was fantastic. Poe was being a badass. Finn had his cool moment with Captain Plasma. Rose had like a heroic moment as well. Everyone had their time to shine. Even though Carrie Fisher, aka Princess Leia, moment was silly, but it was still cool how the fact she saved herself from dying by using the Force. That was really cool. Again, it's one of those things like it was a little silly, but I just wish it was explained like, oh, I was trained in the Force by Luke, and then it would have been forgiven. But overall, overall, again, I know I'm repeating myself, but overall, Star Wars: The Last Jedi, it's a good movie. Go watch it. But again, I just wish that people that have these problems wouldn't put them on one bubble, as if say people that they're complaining about the dumb stuff. These are legit complaints. Instead of like, oh, you're stupid, just, stop hating the movie. Talk to them. Debate. Listen, understand. You might surprisingly find yourself agreeing with some of the flaws and stuff they brought up. Just sit down and talk with them. As I'm saying, at the end of the day, respect people's opinions. You know what I'm saying? Let's have that middle ground. Let's establish that middle ground again. I hate that we gotta choose extremes of a left or a right. No, let's have that middle ground discussion and understand it. Like for example, I mentioned with Koopa, I explain the flaws, and he does agree with them. He still loves it, and I don't hate him for that. If he loves it, great. I want him to love it. It's fine. It's still it's a great Star Wars. It's a good Star Wars film, but it has its problems. But it, you know what I'm saying. But it's well enough. But I do like the new things though that keep it. The new stuff was still good enough, to make it a worthwhile film. But it does have problems. And again, let's be adults and discuss it, but discuss these problems rationally like adults and not throw curse words or be stupid or make up bullshit. Oh, it's not like explain this SJW propaganda or this bullshit. No, don't. You know what I'm saying? And for those of you doing the petition, all these dumb little stuff that Movie mentioned, no, stop doing that. It's stupid. But the problems that Monday back Repzion and Angry Joe mentioned are legitimate flaws, and I understand. I agree with them too. Because before I even did the review itself, I was like, oh my god, am I going crazy? Should I even do this? But when I saw other people feeling the same way, I felt like I wasn't alone. Heck, the last time I checked, the percentage of Last Jedi dropped 77% from last week, and the user rating was 57, I think 54%. From the people. I mean, critics liked it, people didn't care for it. So Justice League is at 80%. So more people like Justice League. People like Justice League more than Star Wars. If you would tell me if I would have had a bet, I would have lost. Because I would bet for Star Wars. Because Star Wars has been around a long time movie wise. But you get my points, guys. Overall, let's be civil. Discuss in the comment section below. I want to hear you guys' thoughts on the situation. That's just my opinion. Again, also, that's what I remember I want to talk about. Just because I disagree with someone doesn't mean I hate them. It's another thing I don't like. Just because you disagree with someone, oh, you mean you just hate them? You despise them? You want them to be wrong? No, I agree with a lot of things what Movie Bob says. Like, the biggest thing I disagree with him was the situation with the DC Extended Universe. He hates it, think it's garbage. I disagree. I think it's fantastic. But I don't hate him for like, oh, whatever. I just don't watch his stuff on it. I just don't watch his stuff on it. That's it. I disagree with him, but it doesn't mean I hate him. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he disagrees with me saying it's garbage. But I'm pretty sure he doesn't hate me. It's just an opinion. It's just an opinion. And we have to respect each other's opinions. Besides, at the end of the day, wouldn't it just be boring if we disagree on everything? It'd just be boring, you know? It's because that those nice, healthy debates and not like swear and curse at each other. You know what I'm saying? And then just because I disagree with them doesn't mean I hate them. There was plenty of times where I disagree with Doug and Angry Joe and Pro Jared, Monday Matt, but it doesn't mean like, oh, I'm not gonna watch your videos. I hate you. No, I'm pretty sure it had that one point where you follow a favorite creator that he said an opinion that you agreed with, and there's things that they said that you disagree with. You know, it happens. You know, everyone have different opinions. It happens. So now, your opinions are not always going to line up to what you think. But let's be rational and discuss it rationally, not be childs about it. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys. That's my thoughts on this video. Wow, 28 minutes. Wow, it went on longer than I thought. But I just had to get this out. Please tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. Excuse me. Please tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you thought about this video? Do you like Star Wars? The Last Jedi, do you hate it? Do you love it? Do you agree with the flaws, or you think the flaws are ridiculous? I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. I always read them. I really want to hear your thoughts on the matter. Alright, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please make sure to rate, comment, subscribe. As always, Rocket Blade signing out. Hopefully see you guys again real soon. Peace out. Oh, have a merry when it's upload. Have a happy Christmas Eve and have a happy Christmas Day. Peace out.